Alright, so turn number 1. Turning point is this road patch on the left side. You don't want to brake here, just to turn. Keep it flat out until you get closer to the curb, then you start to apply the brakes. While braking, you don't want to track out wide outside, you just want to touch the curb with your left tire, patiently on the throttle, and be mindful here. You want to use all this available track on the exit, but it's very easy to spin the car. Now the next S's sector, this is very tricky, but it's all about making compromises and using all the available track. You want here to use all this curb. You see on the telemetry it's not flat out exactly, but it can be flat out if you have the right approach to it. In my case it wasn't. Now for the next section, you want to be early on throttle here. As soon as you're near this curb, you want to be on full throttle, because you don't need to over prepare the next left-hander. Even if you track out wide here, it will be, with this high downforce car, it will be relatively easy to get to the corner. Very important here to use all this curb. It will give you a good entry for this next one. And here you want to use this right-hander and hug it as much as you can and be early on throttle. You see you're already flat out on this section. For the next two corners, the turning point is the 50-meter board, but we don't want to brake here. We just trail the throttle, so it's just a lift. Back on throttle, and as soon as the car is straight, start applying the brakes. Apex around the white line, don't touch even the white and red curb, you don't want to touch it. If you touch the green one, it's much worse, but you don't want to touch it. You want to stay closer to the white line, because you don't want to have a white exit on this curb. It will make the car bottom out. For the hairpin, braking point is right after you don't see this curb anymore, you start applying the brakes. In my case, I start applying the brakes a bit later. I had to downshift first, and I had a slight lock up on the left tire. So if you brake just a bit later, you could possibly take this turn in second gear and it will be a bit faster, and it also preserve your tires a bit more in the race. Now you just want to keep on the right side and follow the white line, stay as close as you can to the white line. And the braking point for the next corner is this road on the right side. As soon as you get past it, you downshift. You can go to 6th gear, 5th, it will give you a better rotation, and you want to use this curb as well on the left side. Touch it a bit with your wheel, it will help the car turn. Now in this part, you just want to go on throttle and give it a slight spike of throttle, so you can go to the curb on the right side. And as soon as you get to the right side curb, you start applying the brakes. It's not more than 15% brake pressure, but you want to keep it applied because it will help the front tires grip and make the turn and get closer to the apex. So as you can see here on the brake trace, we did trail brake between corners. So it's a very tricky section because we have the initial brake, then we have a spike on throttle, then we have to brake a bit again, but it's very tricky to do it properly. And as you can see, these are small values. Get closer to the apex and now you can push the throttle. Don't use too much of the curb here, it will make the car bottom out, and it's also an easy off track. Now stay closer to the right side to open up the corner. Don't fight the car too much to go on the left side, let it track out wide. You don't want to scrap speed, so it's okay. Braking point is the 100-meter board. Slide past it, you want to brake in a straight line, go as much as you can on the left side to open up the right hander. Cut this curb and cut this one as well. It's ideal if you have one tire on this right curb as well. It means that you carried enough speed into the corners. In my case, I was close to it, but it's obvious that I could have gotten a bit faster in the chicane. And in short, that's a lap of Suzuka with the W13.